Jump. Move. Hop. Hop and illuminate when I speak. Yes. Hello. It's oh, hello. Greetings. It is Jack of Cat.
Wait, no, hold on. Let me. A lizard jump scare? I was expecting the stream to have a cold opening. If only. Maybe that's something I can implement in a longer term plan. I do want to make a Jack of Card like alt chibi just for.
Cards from Jack. Yes. Build that deck, Shadley. Yes, build it. Build it very nice. I like Jack of Card like decks. Yes. So many decks. I mean, yes, decks.
Yeah, because the stream is named Chill Stream. No, I think I missed something. I honestly. Today's stream, I call it a chill stream. I've been having a migraine since yesterday. Sinuses and allergy seasons and stuff like that have been killing me. So if I do sound a little bit more, I don't know, tired or neutral, it's just that like I already took some medications. I got a lot of water on me, but I'm probably just not gonna play something a little bit more low maintenance. Uh, One of those things might have be Final Fantasy 14 because I do want to do some updates to the housing. I guess that way we can just make fun of Lizard or something. I don't know. But hold on. Cygnus be not good. Me agree. Yeah, I mean it's. I just think it's like a lot of tense. A lot of it's been a stressful couple of days. And that on top of like the sinuses and all these other things, I've probably got to fix also my posture a little bit. I've been complaining about my chair, so there's a new chair arriving tomorrow. So excitement. So hooray. All right, hold on. I've been trying to like update the chibis just for a bit, but my Fugi may not be wanting to do that, so I'm gonna try it one more time, and if not, I'm just gonna start playing a game. So how about you guys?
Upload failed. Very strange. Yes. I will try with other chibi. Upload failed.
Hold on. No. All right, let me try now. Still playing Aliens Infestation? Dude, I might load it up because I have that on my... I have the actual cartridge. So, I kid you not, I might just load it up for more reference in general. Oh, okay. Hold on. Shit. I'm trying to do a bit. It's not funny, but I am a committed man, so I'll see it through.
Hello. It is I, Jack Cat, Funny Blue. I am all the way down here, yes. Hello. Also, is your Fugi a recollection character?
No. I mean, this chibi is just literally me. It is recollection adjacent. It is inspired by the same type of like clothing and or art style from recollection. So yeah, that be it. It's not a recollection character that I'm pretending to be. This is quite literally just a chibi.
Jack of Cards, yes.
It's sort of what I would call recollection adjacent, just because it's a similar color scheme. But the main goal was to just provide the contrast to Epion behind me over here, who I'm still tweaking and working on. Uh, so that way there'd be like two different color schemes and stuff like that. So I was just trying to, with Kuba, create something that might seem within the same vibe and like complementary to the other thing. If anything, I like if the Epion thing or whatever name we decide to change for the future for like whatever silly small rebranding that's happening goes well. I even thought about making a second one, sort of like the more uh if this Epion is sort of like a neutral good, the other one would be like a neutral evil. I'm married to the Yuri, if you may. Hey there, Phantom. Hello there, everybody. How is everybody doing? Like I said, today's stream is going to be a little bit more mellow. I've been having a massive headache since last night. So I'm still trying to like stick to it. I'm fine. Like there's no reason for anybody to be concerned. It's just like one of those days, you know. But if you want it, I do have a chibi from Recollection that I'm gonna be using as a Fugi. But I'm tweaking the file so that way I can have like a unique thing when it's on and off, like the microphone talking. There's a few. I've been doing the things I said about the stream, and among them is for the new rebranding to do the crowd control. As a way to sort of celebrate the, gosh, almost I guess decade of the YouTube channel. It's about to come up on the 6th. It's almost been, I want to say, a decade since I started at least uploading the videos onto the channel. So I thought that to celebrate, I wanted to do a stream, but I'll use that stream to just promote the new stuff. Because like, so yeah, the whole idea with this and the chibis is just to give the channel a more universal look, so that if I'm talking tomorrow about Sea of Stars or Signalis or fucking Final Fantasy 14, there's like a chibi that's more original to represent me, than like having to do all the other chibis for all these other characters and wherever. Though for 14 I also do have this chibi. Hello. the The funny thing about these chibis are me. There are versions without the hood, and it's just like my stupid fucking face. Later today, I'm gonna be looking extra Buzz Lightyear Artwork Final Fantasy because I'm getting my hair cut, so I'm gonna be back in baby face mode. And yeah. Also, you missed my Recollection 3 from Fentoon's Pirate Hat. Oh, can you repeat it? I'm sorry. I'm in one monitor mode, so like probably when you guys were talking, I was fixing the Fugi stuff. My bad. Should have let you guys know. We're in one monitor mode because I'm gonna be streaming Switcherino games today. So like your creator developer avatar, yeah, more or less, give or take. It's the same one that I had for the Recollection Kickstarter, so I just decided to commission a chibi out of it. Blue unicorn equals blue equals Recollection. Blue likes unicorns? I don't know. She likes nuggets, though. She loves some chicken nuggies. An easy way to befriend Blue is to give her chicken nuggies, but the hard way is that you need to supply the good chicken nuggies and the good sauces, or else she's just gonna leave. I was yesterday having an update about the big picture story and all the different bits with all the different moving pieces to my brother, and I think we finally have the true finalized canon of everything and everywhere all at once. So like blue, red, Mask Skull, and how it all connects, and the other topics that lead into the Recollection mystery. So we were like celebrating. What's Red's favorite food? That's still in debate.
So far, I wanted to do cheeseburgers because like her job is that of a bounty hunter. So like I'm thinking what it's a like a quick meal that you might get from like bounty hunter to go from one place to the other that you could maybe conveniently eat from like your cockpit or whatever. So I thought of hamburgers because there's also the fact that with the world of recollection and the resources and stuff like that, maybe it's just one of the like everybody just there's no fancy foods or stuff like that. So like there's been it's I've been thinking about it to the point that I'm almost like ashamed to admit it that I have like the environments figured out and like a whole bird ecosystem. I based it all around what type of birds might live in this world and like the type of food that might come along to sustain those and stuff like that. And I just made my way from there and stuff uh like Impossible Burgers makes a lot of sense. If not, it was gonna be something like ramen or whatever. But I do like the idea of simple meals for these deep down simple characters that just have a little bit more layers to what they show. And I thought a burger was also a good way of doing that because like you go to every burger joint and it's very different. So kind of goes in part with Red's nomadic lifestyle and maybe flavor text about her reminiscing like, oh, a good burger. I wish we could go back there or whatever.
Imagine Masks is bagels.
I could see it. I could see my man. They have names, by the way. They have finalized names and stuff. But yeah, I could imagine him enjoying their stuff. Character weakness notes: chicken nuggets, down nuggets are her kryptonite. You say that as a joke, but we have written like the end of each one of these episodes. I wanted to have like a closing post credit stuff similar to what the Near anime does. To just shed some more light into the world of recollection through silly flavor text stuff that doesn't really like affect much of the overall story. The Ghost in the Shell manga also does it a lot, so that's another source of reference. So in those cases, it'd be like, all right, Blue's like being bribed into doing work because nuggets and stuff like that. They do. I must have missed it. No, 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 no. You haven't missed anything, Phantom. It's more that like uh I've kept it to myself because I I really don't know why. It's just like I don't really know which group or whatever to share this stuff with. Because at the same time, there's stuff obviously don't want to spoil and give away for the purposes and stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't really get asked with follow up questions that often. That it just maybe never seemed to naturally flow into like a conversation where it'd be like, oh, by the way, her name is Samantha. All right, but now that we're ready, I'm gonna let's get into the game. Like I said, it's a chill stream, so I don't mind us just the main idea is to just chat and stuff. Burpman planning an entire burp ecosystem, truly absurd idea. Insert clueless here. Yeah, I mean, in the world of recollection, with the calamity and the state in which it's left, sort of shifted the planet's ecosystem. So now, for mysterious reasons, but there is an answer. There's a lot of thunderstorms happening, and rain and all this other stuff. So it's like swallows and ospreys and petrels and kites and kingfishers and herons and kestrels and all this other stuff that just thrive in sort of a more uh slowly getting flooded from rains type of environments and the shift of nature through all those years and stuff like that. But I can it's a lot of details. Oh, it did not detect. That's weird. But then again, that's been OBS. It doesn't detect some things here and there. Like I said, the overlay is going to be changing soon-ish. Maybe by next month it'll be online. I'm trying to have everything ready by at least October because I want to do a spooky month marathon. Stream every day. A couple of spooky games, a couple of spooky stuff. Finish a couple more spooky stuff because I'm a huge fan of the spookies. Also, I saw more Marvel Token 4 before. I'm a bit concerned about the gameplay. I've not seen enough. My thoughts of Tokon is A, Holy shit, my boy Victor looks so fucking sexy and I love it. Doctor Doom is my favorite villain, period. I'm obsessed. I've been always obsessed with Victor Von Doom. So seeing him this cool and this flashy by Arc Systems is definitely super great, especially after the Marvel Rivals sort of like hype. Because I like that game, but I feel like it's become a little bit too booty focused. And not that there's anything wrong with like sexy characters and stuff like that, but I much prefer what it's like, I guess, Guilty Gear, and it feels less in my face about it, even though I am aware of characters like Baiken exist, but I love Baiken and Ino and Ram and Unica. I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna add more names. So hold on, this blasted my. So my main wish with Togon, or sort of like the goal in my eyes, is that it needs to be a simple, easy to jump in fighting game for fans. Sort of like the fighting game equivalent of what Marvel Rivals is trying to do, but just polish up on the sound area. So that way it's just like a fun casual fighting game for non necessarily. I'm not expecting it to become the next Street Fighter with metadata and frame links and all this other stuff. I'm just asking for a fun party fucking fighting game that I could maybe entice people to start getting into fighting games, because it's got that level of like I'm seeing it as they're trying to create a babies or a beginners fighting game. And what better way of doing it than the 4v4 with these flashy Marvel characters and kind of using Guilty Gear mechanics.
Name Epion after a white feather bird? I'm confused by that. Not enough Doom in Marvel Rivals. Where's Doom?
Yeah, I know. Doom was like teased since Marvel Rivals as a teaser trailer dropped. With like the two Dooms from the multiverses clashing against each other. I was sold on that premise.
Where is that?
All I see is fucking Emma Frost ads on my phone every day.
And we both know that there's nothing more spooky than Balatro Game of the Year. Balatro. What a fighting game.
There's the Marvel, the guys at Arc System of Guilty Gear fame are doing a new Marvel 4v4 fighting game that seems to be, in my eyes, a mixture between Marvel vs. Capcom, like air combo, team synergy, / Guilty Gear's dust mechanics and universal combos and sort of simplicity, as sort of like trying to create a fighting game that can be flashy and easy for newcomers to the fighting game genre to try out. By the way, funny reaction. The funny image is not just for Crow Country. All right, so that was the Marvel. Now that I have this fixed, I wanted to show you guys. Oh, I said fixed, but I lied because I clicked on the wrong window. There we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Immersion ruined. Immersion ruined. We got to. Oh. Hello. All right, I gotta shrink this now. I messed up my own setup. That's so funny. Alright, sort of like Smash? Yes, but if Smash Brothers is like definitely like a party game, This seems more like an actual Street Fighter fighting game
than like Smash Brothers. So I'd say like, yes, I guess like Smash Brothers, but not really like Smash Brothers, because like
in Smash Brothers, just not worrying about like it's like a platformer jumper, so characters can stay in the air and there's no back airs or fucking spikes and stuff like that. You gotta use meter resources, and air combos are limited and stuff like that, you know? I don't want it to be too easy, because if it's too simple then it may become mundane. I don't want it to be boring. Well, my thing with this, Brian, is that for me it reminds me mostly of Marvel 3. And in Marvel 3, you had the simple mode, which was intended for the babies. But that never really stopped people from creating the Zero loops or the Doctor Doom loops or Dormammu tech or all these other things. So I'm seeing it as hopefully an easy to learn, hard to master fighting game, just like Guilty Gear, in a sense. Also, the stream I wanted to show. Start software. New data, install it now. Start software. Smash is called a platform fighter by most players. I agree with it because the fact that you can use platforms to your advantage in Smash Brothers, because like you can hide on their platforms, or you can like the interactions that you can get from platforms really changes the whole appeal of the fighting game, especially when your goal is to knock out your opponent rather out of the stage rather than like reducing their health. But yeah, here's yeah, Phantom, you're right on the money. You know what? Fuck it. Hello, everybody. This is my island now. I've become my own OC. I restarted my Animal Crossing island because my old island died. I had to switch Nintendo Switch 1 units several years before the OLED was announced, and like it couldn't really transfer my old island. But I also kind of just wanted to start with a new one, so I thought that for today's stream I could show you guys what I'm planning for my new little island / maybe some Final Fantasy 14. Because I just wanted to relax and talk with you guys and stuff like I have this massive headache. But I'll be fine. Really, don't stress about it. I just need to. So yeah, I made my Samantha coat. If anybody's for whatever reason would like it, I could post you the code. What else do I have? Oh my gosh. My boy. What else have I downloaded? Aiba? Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, so there's the... I also made Blue's outfit. So I can be either red or blue. And then I have... This is for another character I haven't finished yet. The piece, though. It's another character that does exist, and I have concept art and stuff like that. Chilling out with some Animal Cross. Yes. I read the cross as like Monster Hunter Cross and didn't realize that it was Animal Crossing. I haven't touched this island since I started December maybe. I named the island is supposed to be an amalgamation of some of the stories I'm developing or the world, and it's been fun as like just a reference and for funny, sort of a writing exercise and stuff like that. I haven't really touched it since December when I was like playing it more religiously during the break, and it's mostly because I got the perfect villager for me, Sprocket. He's a robot and a bird. Two of my favorite things. Sup, Sprocket. I've been gone forever. The only thing about my boy Sprocket is because he's one of my first villagers. I'm trying to. I would wish I could decorate his house, and he's just another jock, and I feel like. I don't know why the jock personality in Animal Crossing is just the most like you've seen it once, you've seen them all, maybe. I wish Sprocket was a little bit more of a beep boop funny robot. Yeah, that's what Marble Tokon has, but it's both the technical / simple input like Granblue versus in DNF Duel. You have motion inputs and directionals, but in Granblue you're encouraged to try doing technical inputs to get extra benefits. And also it tricks you into playing technical and learning the ropes. Yeah, just like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And that didn't stop anybody from grabbing Zero and making Zero death combos. Or other complex mechanics. Yeah, it's a Robo Bird. Wow, the stream delay is very... It's very heavy today. I really gotta sit down and research more about... How is it that every time I want to chill in my fucking apartment house, whatever, one of these villagers is like, hey, yo, I'm here. But I can't really be angry. It's another burp. I like burps. Oh, check out my recollection room. This is... I kind of made what might be like Mask or Skull's like headquarters of sorts. I'm dirt poor because I bought all this cyber stuff. Like... I have a sleeping pod capsule fucking bed. It cost all of this glowy things have cost me so many bells. And I don't know if Pod might be in the chat, but I even have over here, or anybody who played it on the chat. That's my little Crow Country reference over there. If you played the game, I think you might be able to recognize it. If with the gold mining automation facilities that you suddenly find within this theme park. I got my fish, my blowfish, my trusty blowfish. He for me. So that way when I want to, the blowfish just for me. So I don't have to, because I have this to for me. Yo, since when is my distant cousin in your room? Oh, yeah, I like skeletons. I think skeletons are funny and fun. It's also because one of the characters is called Skull. And he's got a skeleton for a face. Because he's very funny. Insert dancing skeleton gif here. If not, I was thinking of the put it with the trumpet skeleton. This button cost me like 100,000 bells. It's my useless button. It does absolutely nothing. This tube cost set me back like another 100k. So did this table. And so did that bed. Another 200k. And that's before it changed their colors. But the island itself is like I'm basing it off. Oh. Alright, bye, Rio. Adios. Hasta luego. Wow, I think I need to dust off my Pro Controller because my character is slowly drifting. How many characters does Recollection have now? It's the same. It's the same amount. The same 4 main characters. There's other characters, but those are like the side characters in the P plot, or the minor characters. There's only the main characters. Red, Blue, Skull, and Mask.
if you're confused by the extra anima and kestrel stuff, those are for other stuff. Like the island is based around a fictional kingdom I made for another story that I'm also writing and developing. That's sort of like Recollections sibling series, I guess you want to call, or a sibling story. But like, I still fit some Recollection stuff into it. Shit. I do have that character for the Kingdom of Elmoria. Sort of sketched out in the general gist, but Recollection is more of like a serial story, like, you know, episode 1 builds stuff for episode 2 and so on. This other would be more like a Samurai Jack episodic show where each episode has its sort of self-contained beginning, middle, and end. But they're all building towards a bigger mystery, so you can kind of just watch it
almost out of order and still be fine.
Oh my gosh, wow. I'm just running around to see what were the things I was planning. And then I stopped playing because, I'll show you why I stopped playing. I'll show you the good reason. The very reason I stopped playing Animal Crossing. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why I stopped playing Animal Crossing. I couldn't put my finger on why I stopped playing Animal Crossing all of a sudden. I just really couldn't put my finger on why I stopped playing Animal Crossing. Just, I really couldn't tell you, man. I just really couldn't tell you, man. No reason in particular that I stopped playing Animal Crossing. None at all. None at all. Is it lizard? Well, yeah, it is actually kind of like, I guess, lizard adjacent. There she is. Or the OG lizard, actually. You cannot point towards the literal ocean of drool that you've created. No, because I need to remind people how the ocean became a thing. I just really couldn't tell you, man, why I stopped playing Animal Crossing. All of a sudden near March. Gendy's working on a new thing on Netflix? Oh my gosh. Not my senpai. I kind of have the same thing for my story, where each chapter leads to a different one. So in and so forth. The beginning is bounty hunting, occasionally demon hunting. And the end is a whole cosmic horror beyond human comprehension, to the point one character develops schizophrenia temporarily. Ooh. Well, if you ever need feedback or stuff, feel free to just let me know. My credentials are, I'm just some guy in the internet who really likes fiction and editing. In my case, there's always a cosmic or psychological horror type of stuff mixed in between, just because I've been a fan since I was a kid. It's not like I'm a Metroid fan or whatever. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Red? Please have the Isle of Dead. Please have the Isle of Dead. Please have the Isle of Dead. red, I'm imploring you. This could actually motivate me to come back into the game. Shit. No luck. You a Metroid fan? Preposterous. Well, at least I got Starry 9. Amrik might recognize this one. But he's not even in the chat, I think. Yep, there's the red-to-red communication. A worthy painting. Alright, hold on. How do I know if it's the fake one? Or is this one of those that there's no fake? This artwork is always genuine. Sweet. You sent it to me? Oh shit. Alright. Thanks for the link, Brain. I'll check it after the stream. I mean, I've been lucky enough to have seen several of these paintings in person. Not that I probably would be able to tell all of the changes the fake ones have to the originals, but I do like coming back to these paintings for references and inspiration in general, so. So this is my little housing district of sorts. I'm kind of building the Vilmorian Square. And this is where its citizens would live, more or less. Then all the way to the right where it used to be is where I want to put the Spectre's house. Oh, my monitor. There we go. So this is sort of like, this would be like the plaza. And that's like the main entrance to the plaza, where down here is where other people live. And then these, so many things I don't have. I could be gathering, but so that way, like, we got the little Vilmorian flag. I'm working on a little Vilmorian jingle, and stuff like that. Roja lore? Yes and no. It's more lore with another character called Anima. I don't know if I have concept art on me to show, but I just want to visit my spirit animal real quick. He's just like me, for real, for real. I love Blather so much. He's so precious. I feel like if I were an Animal Crossing character, I definitely would be Blathers. How many birds do I have in my island? Not counting blathers, I think it's 3, which I'll say I'm pretty lucky. I got Sprocket, Rio, and I forgot the other pingling guy's name. My internet just blanked out for a second, so whatever you said I missed. Oh, the only thing I had said is that the lore isn't necessarily ret related, is anima related. And anima is just a different character for something else. Yeah, I do got Sprocket. Here are my villagers. Puck. Why would they call him that? Oh, why would they call him that? So yeah, I can finally use these chibis again, I believe. Even though I don't know how long I'll be playing Animal Crossing for. I have about 4 Burt residents. Oh, lucky you. I haven't managed to get another once. Gosh, KD dits. I don't really like bugs. I especially do not like fucking grasshoppers and stuff like that. Casts fire. Why are we casting fire towards? I looked away. Are you talking about the Samus Animal Crossing, Chibi? Oh, cicadas. Grasshopper and locusts. Yeah, I mean, those are my least favorite bugs out of all the bugs. Just the Samus? Wow. Wow, you chat. I don't like bugs. I generally have a fear of bugs. I'm enough of an adult to admit it. You gotta understand, the bugs of where I live aren't really small. Pokemons. Cicadas get everywhere, locusts could get fucking everywhere. I like mantis, but I find them creepy, but in the cool way. They're like... I don't mind spiders either. Because spiders eat the other bugs I don't like. And usually I get like the cute jumping spiders over here and stuff like that. But like, man, do we get some whack-ass, weird-ass bugs as well. So like, when I was a kid, I just like... I don't really know why. I got like... traumatized by fucking locusts. And they look like Phazon locusts, you know, fucking red and blue colors and all this other shit with like red eyes and whatever. And then from there on out, I'm like, nope, no, no, I want these gone. Hey, that's why I like birds so much. I like dragonflies. Dragonflies are cool. There's a few of them that I tolerate, and I'm like, I'm not scared or phobia from. But man, I've tried to face it. Like, don't get me wrong, I've tried to face it. Like, whenever I'm in a natural museum or like an animal museum, I try and visit the insecticide. But no. Australia has tiny leaf insects that look like mutant bugs. Didn't they discover a new bug in Australia recently? Like a 15-inch long stick bug that's the heaviest bug on the planet? I don't like scorpions just because you do get to see scorpions in the house. So it's like, you know, die. No. So, you know, certain regions where I live do have to, like, people do have to be careful about where they walk in the middle of the night because scorpions might just crawl in. Like, I had to evict a giant ass mantis from my house yesterday as well. And then arachnids I'm usually okay with because they just like chill to their own spider webs and eat other bugs that I don't want to see in my house. And they the spiders that we tend to see here, like if I get close to them, they'll just like run away and mind their own business. Oh, they you know, and they eat the bugs. So I don't know if that's the bug, but yes, I did not even dare to see it. I just saw like the highlight of it in my news feed, and I just didn't even want to look at it. So that's why I feel like I'm also Blathers is my spirit animal, because my guy hates bugs. So this is why I usually give him several of them at once, so it at least doesn't trigger his I'm uncomfortable animation. Australia has giant huntsman spider. I'll never visit friend down under. I see you looking them bugs. I see you looking at them bugs you a lot. Yes, it does. I know the pun, but no, generally it does. You might be saying it as a joke, but no joke. Truths. I think Cheddar might be thinking about leaving. And I don't know how I feel about that, because on the one hand, Cheddar leaving might give me more chances at Burp showing up. But Cheddar is a funny cheese mouse. I also like Sally. Because she's my 420 friend. I'm seeing if whether or not I have a concept of the anima character for you, Brian. Are any of these it? No. These are just Samus. No. Orc and Mantis are pretty. Like, I cannot deny that there's some of them they're just like pretty and stuff like that, but no thank you. Ironic, given that I guess one of my favorite Pokemons is Scizor, who's a bug, and Golisopod. Even though I would never want to have like an IRL one. Well, these are recollection characters. These are Numa characters. Where are the anima characters? I don't have. I usually have these on like my recollection hard drive, or its clone. And I don't really just want to load up my Dropbox, because that's just gonna take. I'd rather just play a different. I'd rather just focus on the game. Spectre. Are these it? it's a version of it. It's a concept art. Golisopod is the best design. It's really cool. I agree. Yes. Yeah, and it's also the one that my boy Guzma uses. I really liked my boy Guzma. I miss my boy Guzma. At least I had Pierce in Sword and Shield before it, well, no, what was it? I was gonna say before it went to shit. But let's be fair, it kind of went to shit in Gen 8 as well. Ooh, I got this. Oh, what I have on me is the poster for that anima character I mentioned, which is the Spectre character that this town is sort of based around. So you find fictional bugs more tolerable than real life bugs? I guess it really depends how much it looks like a real life bug. Like, I don't mind bug type Pokemons at all. But if I saw like the real bugs that they're based around, I would not like it. Like, no. Yes, Animal Crossing. I was just showing Chad my little recollection stuff. And yeah, here's the. But this is what I have so far. This would be like that character's trench coat, but as you can see, I'm still working on its design. I haven't quite finished it yet.
Animal Crossing?
Yes. Pochenking. If not, I thought about doing 14 as well, because I have a little bit of a migraine today.
I have a back pain, and in 30 minutes and 20 minutes I'm going to a doctor for that, because
Yeah.
I pulled something yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was
shit.
because I stretched, and then it was like, pain.
Fuck.
And so
That
you know what, I'm
sucks.
just gonna let it be, gonna be simple yesterday, gonna take some drugs and go to sleep, and wake up fine. Like, nope, I didn't wake up fine.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing to go check it out.
I think stretching and strength exercise on top of changing the setup is in order. Alright, there's nothing that I really feel crazy about buying. I don't know, Chad, would you be more interested in more Animal Crossing, more Final Fantasy, maybe swap to Final Fantasy 14, or going back to Metroid Dread? Would it sort of start a playthrough? I like those shoes.
I like the black ones
Oh yeah, the black ones look better.
and the brown ones.
I like the black ones for this outfit.
Yeah, black one better.
Yeah.
The ship head just makes me think of One Piece.
The what now?
The ship head makes me think of One Piece. Because there's just so many fucking characters that are like that.
Like, I don't know the characters by name, but I've seen enough of them.
One of them is the butler from the sick girl on Usopp Island.
You saw the Kojima post?
Mm-hmm.
Devil May
I
Cry.
did.
Devil May Cry better. I did also have a blue and red glam and mask and skull in Final Fantasy 14. Oh my gosh, look at that baseball hat. What the fuck is that? Baseball.
It's a giant baseball hand. Is that a Power Ranger?
Throwback hat table. No, it's my villager who likes tokusatsu stuff.
There are a few. Actually, there are a team.
Yeah, I got the number 4 pink. Kojime Cry. That's actually a good one, Brian.
Oh, hello. Look, it's me, Jack of Cad. Jack of Cad had simple question. What game would chat like to see between the Metroid game on Switch, Final Fantasy XIV, or more Animal Crossing? I will also accept a Xenoblade X.
Hey, X Fusion might drop in a few hours. You gonna play it? X Fusion? I don't.
Execution.
That's the first
I
time.
don't know what that is.
Let me look it up. X Fusion. All I get is some bike stuff. Let me see.
Yeah.
Game? Oh, is it a Metroid mod?
See? Yeah, it's Fusion X. It's a ROM hack, but that's an old one.
Is it?
Yeah, the oldest post that I have is like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I'm seeing it like
In the Metro Construction.
Look, I put X Fusion game, and all I got was these Metroid Fusion looking stuff.
Oh,
and
wait.
then there's
I have one post from a year ago. Apparently the creator just deleted every video and everything from the progression of the Metro hack.
Oh. Might be for the better so that it doesn't get. It's X Fusion is a Super Metroid hack, 12 years in the making. Basically Fusion and Super's engine with a completely new story, bigger map. More Fusion, you say? Wait, why didn't you just send me this so I can play it? Because Metroid Fusion is my fucking favorite.
I only find things like footage and stuff like that, but... Well, if it does come out, post it on the Discord.
It's not a plug. I am generally excited for it. No, I didn't see it as a plug. Chat member. I do generally.
No,
like...
we're just curious to what this is.
I
how it
generally
actually-
do like it when you guys tell me about other fan projects and stuff, because one of the main things I would like to use my channel for is to promote other fan projects or smaller projects and stuff and indie stuff, because like I feel like a lot of that it used to be something I distanced myself at the beginning when I started the channel, because I saw it as a rabbit hole that was very easy for me to fall under, and I kind of just wanted to address, you know, the general topics of the Metroid game first, and showcase my brain rot and love for the main titles and stuff like that. But now that like I feel I've gotten most of the simpler topics out of my system, and I'm waiting for Prime 4, I wouldn't mind now actually starting to talk on all these other things. So yeah, I mean, I didn't see it as a plug or anything, chat. I generally am always curious about new things and stuff. Because you never know if it also might be a good reference for me, or something that I like and all that other stuff. Like, gosh, do I need to mention AM2R? It's like, I didn't talk about AM2R and all this other stuff because everybody was just... It was everywhere, you know? So, like, I'd rather, in a sense, help whatever other projects that might be coming in the following footsteps or mentality or game. It doesn't have to be a Metroid fan project. It can be like a game, another indie game and stuff, or indie project. It could even be just videos that you guys find from other Metroid creators. Cause like, is it funny that I also like just watching those silly brain rot stuff? I don't really watch my own videos, to be honest. Maybe you should try Aliens Infestation on DS. I mean, I've played it. I own the cartridge of it. Oh wow, I caught a stream. Hi Orpheon. Hey there. How you guys doing? I'm having quite a headache today. So I wanted to just have like a very chill, relaxed stream where we just chat and stuff. So I was debating whether to swap into like Metroid Fusion or Dread or Prime, since I have my Switch plugged in, or something like Sea of Stars because it's the game I've been obsessed with, or Final Fantasy 14. Or Animal Crossing. So like, please just somebody make a decision for me because my head really hurts. It's generally on the tier as AM2R. The creator of the hack spent 10 years making it. It's supposed to release tonight. I don't anyone for not seeing the creator of it was super duper underground for the past 4 years since Big N took down Prime 2D. Yeah, rest in peace Prime 2D. I remember streaming that. And I was just like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be fucking amazing. So like, you know, I was very sad. So like, I'm. That's the other reason why I also never wanted to talk about these. Not to like, I'm no big YouTube personality or anything. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm just a small whatever boy. But at the same time, I just didn't want to like feel that fire and get those works of passion like taken down, because I'd rather just let them flourish. But like if there's ever any of these creators who would like I'd be nothing but humbled and happy to do a video or whatever on those projects if the developers would like to. Because I would love to raise awareness over their work in general, and hopefully future careers and stuff like that. Rip Metro 2D, yeah. I will leave a link to the trailer. Are you in the Discord server by any chance? Because I think that might be an easier way for you to leave the link for me so I don't forget. I'm copying it.
For now, I'll put it myself on the Metro channel.
Oh, okay, thank you, Gabe. It's just like that way. I would rather my community, no matter how small it is, know about it and also enjoy it. And whatever
I hate that
other
video
projects.
has an AI generated image.
Yeah.
Fuck it. It's a indie guy. We are not gonna beat that.
No, I mean,
Effort.
I don't mind it, especially if they're using it as a placeholder and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because I can also understand not everybody's got the funding or
The
time or to make
Exactly.
art assets, and they're just using these for placeholders. That's like my one, like when it's stuff like that, and people are using it as a proper tool, and it's when I'm fine with it. The trailer has an AI image to throw off Nintendo. Good. Like, I'll be honest, if I ever made like a Metroid fan project, I would like fucking put Elma and all these other non-Metroid related things just to throw off Nintendo as well. It was public but got too much traction. I think somebody in chat or in my server might have mentioned it to me before, and I checked it several years back, but then I kind of ghosted social media altogether for my mental health.
No, I checked the reason behind it. Apparently, Nintendo forced the team to take it down to make people, because English, they didn't want people's attention to be moved away from Metroid Dread.
Yeah. Same thing with like what do you call it? Samus
AM2R.
AM2R, yeah.
And Samus Return, yeah.
Oats and Goats will play it as well. That's one. That's a Metroid content creator I'm not too familiar with, and I feel bad for saying that because I generally try and see and find other Metroid content creators and stuff just to see. I don't want to be stepping on anybody's toes or stuff like that.
I was going to suggest you could play some Dragon Quest, but you don't have the HD one installed on your computer, do you?
No, I don't, and I don't think I have the mental state for.
Really? Because Dragon Quest is like one of the not thinking ones.
It's mostly the RPG turn-based of it all. Like I feel like the games I picked is either Metroid because my brain kind of goes autopilot in that and I can just talk with chat, or Final Fantasy 14 because I'd be focusing on like my daily quests and
glamour, so that way if we play tonight that it's Friday, we can grind with stuff with Americ because there's some new relic weapons and shit.
Fantasy Life will be a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotta download that one. I keep forgetting. Super Speedrunner, haha, and X World Record. Oh, okay. That's the only speedrunner I kind of really follow in the shadows is my boy Torvus. Because I've chatted with him in Deadweight and stuff like that. And we worked, and you know, he was part of the people who worked on the Chozo language thing alongside Metroid 35 and Deadweight. So, Torvus is, or at least was, like a very prevalent Dread speedrunner as well. So, like, I would follow that, but I really fallen off of like Metroid speedrunning. I used to be big on it in college.
There's only one speedrunner that I follow, and only because I'm baffled
I
of
probably
how insane this man is.
I'm probably seen the guy on like a GDQ speedrun. I wouldn't be surprised. Oats and Ghost, and I just
Probably.
don't,
He
and I just
probably
don't
has-
remember.
Like, the name sounds familiar. Like, it's hidden in the back of my head somewhere.
Is that the problem? Is that I'm usually like, you know, when we're watching GDQ, I'm playing 14, so I'm not really paying attention too much. It's the background stuff. Well, in any case, some new Metroid content is going to be really nice in the meantime. The wait for Prime 4 is killing me as is. Yeah, man, 17 years, am I right? Fucking hell. I'm sure
That the guy.
the longer they take, the better, in my opinion. Let them cook. That's all I say.
The guy that I follow, the only speedrun that I follow is Swift.
I don't know that one either.
He is the world record for SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Oh, okay. Hey, Taco.
And the reason why I follow him because I was curious to see him play. But the guy literally only plays that game every day, 2 hours to no end. And even did a subathon that lasted 2 months of only SpongeBob.
Sorry, there was the locust. I got the shivers. It's best to keep things underground hidden and then release it when it's ready, rather than announcing it before it's ready to be released, only for Nintendo to shut you down. Yeah, that's also part of the reason I'm like keeping the recollection stuff shut. A, not to spoil, and B, like I'd rather talk about it like in the state that it is right now, because I kind of feel it's finished in the story. I just have to sit down and write it down, the rest.
Hmm?
Which is what I'm doing.
I'm gonna let you
Shit.
be with Taco. I'm gonna go to my doctor's appointment.
All right. Good luck. Let me know
See
how.
you there.
Let me know
Have
how
fun.
it goes.
Hey Taco,
What?
fuck you.
Fuck you.
Where's the copy of
Pikmin 4.
exactly? Thank you.
Taco, how about a copy of the new Kaname Date Somnium Files game? It's cheaper than Pikmin 4.
That is true. It's what 40 bucks?
$40.
Yeah.
I bought a Switch 2 for Prime 4. I said the joke that I wasn't gonna buy a Switch 2. I was gonna buy I was gonna spend $450 worth of in copies of Metroid Prime 4, just to send a message to Nintendo. I don't give a shit about the system. I give a shit about Metroid. Yeah, Orchid Mantis, we found it.
I'm gone now. But
Bye. I haven't bought a Switch 2 because they cost $1,000 over here. There's no way I'm spending $1,000 for a PS4 Pro. That's portable. It needs AI upscaling to finish its visual, quote, tricks to simulate the 4K. I'm just glad the Metroid Prime 4 will be available for plebs like me on 30 frames per second on their Switch 1s. So I'll still be able to enjoy it. So I wanted to future-proof myself for Metroid 6. Shit was expensive as hell, but Donkey Kong is really good if you guys ever get it. I'm interested in it because Mario Odyssey is my favorite, like what I would consider to be my objective best game on the Switch. And this is like the closest I'm gonna get to a Mario Odyssey 2. But I ain't spending $900 or $1,000
on this type of a hardware just for 1 or 2 games. Because the general rule of thumb I've had with every system that I buy is that I need at least need 3 or 4 bangers that make me say like, all right, shit, that $450 is an investment, rather than and stuff like that, you know? Because with prices being ridiculous, I can play Metroid Prime 4 on my Switch. There's still there's like Donkey Kong and Mario Kart, which sure are fun, but they're not system sellers for me. If Nintendo really wanted to impress me, they would have thrown something truly whack out of left field that I just really needed to play. And I'm not saying this that Donkey Kong is a bad game or anything. It's just not the wacky, crazy uniqueness that I could like. It's Donkey Kong. It's not F-Zero. It's not like when the GameCube launched and it was Pikmin and I just needed to see what the fuck that game was about, you know? Because I didn't know what a Pikmin was. So like I'm really curious of like what might be the new IP. I didn't buy a Wii U on launch. I didn't buy a 3DS on launch. I didn't buy a DS on launch. I usually wait for these consoles to get like the revision and the second thing, because it always happens. And given how ridiculously expensive the systems are, I'm probably going to be able to only afford one version of the Switch 2. So I might as well not make it the launch version when there's literally only one game for me to play. And then just, I guess, being able to see all these, like Xenoblade X running at 60 FPS or whatever. How much does Switch 2 cost again with Pro Controller and camera add-ons as well? So the Switch 2 is $450 US retail. The camera is about $50, and keep in mind it's a shitty quality camera. The good news is that you don't need to use the Nintendo camera. Any webcam will work with the Switch 2, and in the same extent, you can use the Switch 2 webcam as your computer's webcam. So there's at least that. And then the Pro Controller, I believe, is like another $80 or $90 or some shit like that. Kit from Kit and Christ suspects that something's off about Nintendo's schedule. None of the 5 games coming this year have date. I think I have this giant tinfoil hat theory that I'm writing as sort of as a conspiracy theory movie pitch, just to do it as a bit. But it's my way. That's what I kind of believe what's happening behind the scenes, and it's the state of why Nintendo's here, and like maybe why Reggie left and all this other stuff. Because that for me seemed more fishy. The timing of it all, going back all those years, and because all those years back is like when the new stuff was going on. So changed Stack Beetle. I cannot believe I didn't make a Kamen Rider Gattack reference until now. All right, Taco, I've been asking this question 5 times and nobody else has answered, so I'll let you answer it for me. Yeah, and I don't think Taco's here either. Yeah, 90, like Mario Kart, $80 for Mario Kart. Fuck that noise. I like Mario, like F-Zero. Maybe I would probably spend it on F-Zero if it like had like the 30 player 99 mode, the 30 players and the 99, and the vehicle customization and the story mode and the track editors and the vehicle builders that used to be on the Game Boy Advance for $40. Then a Mario Kart world that I'm seeing nobody's playing, and it's kind of like autopilot-y. The question was what to play or what to swap into. DK went from 80 euros physical, but I got a discount 65, and man, it is worth every cent. Yeah, I'm like, I will buy the games if they're worth it, but like, you know, the fact that they're 80 is just gonna make me be more picky and more critical about the games that I'm buying and getting, because like, there is no world and you can convince me to pay $80 for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And the other problem is that Nintendo games never go on fucking discount. Like now, $60 is going to be considered the discount, where like that used to be the main price. Mario Odyssey still goes for $40 in the quote-unquote discount, and that game is like a Switch 1 launch title. I say Dread or Fusion. All right. You know what? That mod made me very excited, so I'll probably play Fusion. I could also use it for reference for my own little project that I'm just trying to work on. I don't really want to say that I'm developing a game, more so like figuring out how I could develop a game. Because all I've done is just a 1 week. Albert tries and makes a silly platformer stage on Godot.
So far, silly platform stage is fun.
Yeah, I mean, I made some systems and stuff like that. I guess I could show it off to stream if they would like to see it. My idea is to turn it into a Metroid game down the line, but you know, I am not saying that I'm working on a Metroidvania. More so that I'm learning how I could probably make one down the line. So every day I sit down for like an hour and I try and put more mechanics and more elements that I want. Like right after I joked about alien infestations, I said Dread and Fusion. Oh, my bad. That's probably when maybe they were talking about other stuff. My headache. I'm honestly sorry. All right, save and end. Let's play some Fusion. I like the sound of that. But yeah, you know, the other reason I am on the fence about the Switch 2 is because like if I'm gonna spend that amount of money on a system, I need to know how the third party is gonna play. So I'm waiting because I know the Nintendo first party game will look good on the Nintendo made console and stuff like that. So I'm curious how like Daemon X Machina is gonna run, how Elden Ring is gonna run, how maybe if they ported Armored Core, we would be having an entirely different conversation right now.
I know Cyberpunk runs okay.
Yeah, but Cyberpunk runs okay on every other device it's on.
Yeah.
It like The Witcher 1, The Witcher 3 works on the Switch 1, okay? So like Prime Remaster had a discount up until yesterday, went for 30 euros. Well, it's a shame I got mine day one for $0. I had the ultimate discount because you guys were so fucking generous with me and you chipped in so I could buy this game for free and giving my current my scenario for the past couple of years since the pandemic, it really means a lot. So it's only made these games way more special. So once again, thank you guys. Part of the reason I'm doing the stream updates is because I do want to do like a subathon or something to just raise funds to maybe secure a copy of Metroid Prime 4 or whatever collector's edition it might have, if at all.
Okay, but what if they do like a Metroid Prime? I know they probably won't, but what
Yeah.
if they do a Metroid Prime 4th like bundle
I would if
with the Switch 2?
if the system looks any different, then maybe. Because the whole reason that I never upgraded to a Switch OLED was because like maybe they'll do a Metroid Prime 4 or Metroid Dread one, but you know they never did. So I do
Which
have the
sucks.
Samus Returns 3DS XL. The base games runs at a stable of 30 frames per second with minimal graphic cutbacks. It's around Series S level graphics. I finished the deck building. Oh, nice. Thank you, Shitley. But yeah, like, I mean, I need to see how more of that third-party line is going to look down the line because I don't know if this is true. I've honestly not done research. So if I'm incorrect, please just tell me. But I did hear over the grapevine that apparently Microsoft and Steam are teaming up to make like a Steam Deck type system together. And if that's anywhere near the price or stuff that can compete with a Switch 2, then I'm so sorry, Switch 2, but I'm buying that first because Steam sales. The Switch Nintendo will never be able to compete with Steam sales.
I'm pretty sure it's that ROG Ally thing that Xbox is working on.
And that's their like a hybrid system, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, because they'll use ROG's like Armory Crate kind of thing that runs Windows, and so Microsoft is also working on just optimizing it for that.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think I'll be honest. I think that giving Xbox condition with all like the console wars and all this other stuff, that doing that with Steam might be the perfect pivot for it to come back and actually compete with the rest. Because between having Game Pass and Steam sales available on your system like that and all your Steam library, I'm sorry Nintendo, but I'm buying that first.
Now the thing is, ROG Allies are like, there's rumors that might be like $700, $800 maybe.
Okay, yeah, but like that's just gonna add competition to the market, is what I'm saying, because there's also probably gonna be a Steam Deck Revision 2 and all these other things. And
If it's like, I feel like if it runs what it's supposed to run, then the price is more justified. The reason I have a trouble with Nintendo's price is that I found like statistics and stuff that says that it doesn't really they're selling it for that price because they just wanted to make more money out of it. They could have been selling it for $400 or like $350 and still be making a crazy profit, but they just chose that bigger money because more money.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the type of thing I don't jive with, and I'd rather just, all right, maybe there's this system that can run all the things on my Steam, including Final Fantasy XIV, versus the Nintendo proprietary system that runs this game's kind of okay. If you can roast me live on stream. I need to know if I'm a terrible or not. Yu-Gi-Oh? Why are we talking about Yu-Gi-Oh? Nintendo where Metroid Samus Returns remaster. Or a port at least. Or Federation Force. Speaking of Metroid, do you think Nintendo will eventually remaster another Metroid Prime game? Yes. Well, I'm in the fence with the 50-50 on that one, because on the one hand, if they were going to do it, or is it? But at the same time, I'm like, all right, they could have easily just done the Pikmin 1 and 2 bundle with Metroid Prime 2 and 3, where it's just ports of the GameCube games running at 60 or whatever, you know, the bare minimum, and sold it to the people right now. But the fact that they haven't done that, and the fact that Metroid Prime Remaster with zero marketing, because they just shadow dropped that one day, you know, one day they just said, oh, this is a thing, no marketing, no hype, no E3, no nothing, and that sold so fucking well that maybe that convinced them to pivot into just remastering the others. But like, you know, Nintendo works in mysterious ways. Like, I believe Prime Remaster was the fastest selling Metroid game, and all they had to do was just like shadow drop it. So like, I would die with an Echoes remaster in the same level. The thing is that it sells really good. Today they announced 5.4 million, fastest selling console globally. I know something about Samus Returns I want to share. Sure, you can share about the Samus Returns. Yeah, the thing I was going to say, that the issue with the Nintendo thing is that the consumer base is willing to get away with, like, enables it. Anybody who bought like the Switch 2 and stuff like that, just enable them to keep continuing on this trend further and further. Same as everybody buying an unfinished Pokemon game 3 times in 1 year. 3 unfinished Pokemon games in 1 year. Like, you know. Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, unfinished. Legends Arceus, unfinished. Scarlet and Violet, unfinished. All came out in the span of 1 year. Each one sold more than the other. So, like, you know, I am willing to say that the problem is the consumer base. I've been playing Metroid Samus Returns again, almost finished it, enjoying it so much again. Yeah, it's super fun. I don't know why a lot of people had that much of an issue, and like I never really understood why why the community during those days had to like put Samus Returns versus AM2R, and one has to be better than 2 games walk in, only one leaves type of mentality. And I always thought, like, oh, the beauty about it is that we got both of them. We got the perfect ecosystem where both of them get to live with each other. Wait, why are you guys boycotting the Metroid game that we wanted? Even the guy who made Metroid AM2R was happy. Like, Dr. M64 was advocating for Samus Returns. Returns has some extremely low potty mileage that developer leaked on his ArtStation of every object, wall, and whatnot. They have high poly models of them for the most insignificant background creator ready. There was also Mercury Steam employee who said Samus Returns has been ported to Switch, and Top of Dread was built on it. It was also data mine assets for this file. Where do you found these?
I'm genuinely curious as a fan. Gosh, now I wish I just had those because I want to read it. Like the guys who work behind these Metroid games are my heroes. The developers who make this Metroid game, any Metroid game, I don't care the Metroid game. If you worked on Metroid, you're kind of like a hero to me. So Federation Force, Other M, I don't give a shit. Metroid is Metroid, and all of these games are fantastic. So like I would love to learn more about that. So, but I do know also that there's times where like developers make the asset higher res first because then it's easy to maybe turn into a low poly model. And they just do it high res for just the sake of detailing and stuff like that. Would it be more crazy if Metroid Prime Hunters gets remastered? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Hunters is the one that deserves a remake. Not remaster, remake from the ground up the most. I don't know why the community seems obsessed with Super Metroid when I think Hunters could benefit way more from the full-on, it's like, Samus Returns Zero Mission treatment, you know? We can resuscitate Orpheon with Ram, Elma, and Samus by telling them that there's a crossover collab. Where? I need. Now. Link? Thank you. Thank you for the link. Artist Station. Yeah, I should have find them. Because I found some other people in there in Artist Station, I should say, from other games and stuff. Hold on, I'm copying and pasting the file for myself. Shit. There we go. Gosh, look at that clean ass model. I'm sorry, I'm an absolute sucker for the Samus Returns armors. They're just so fucking clean. I love them so much. Same for Dread, like Mercury Steam. The delicious variant. Thank you. You guys made my favorite version of Zero Suit Samus and Armored Samus. I'm so glad that the Dread Figma exists. I'm catching up with your chat. Samus Returns is more replay value in my opinion. I think compared to what though? It is done as per Commander deck. No way that you made... I'm checking the deck you sent me, Shadley. You made... I didn't even tell you. Soundwave is my favorite Transformer. He's like the only Transformer I give a shit about. So it is perfect for my lizard. She is a tomboy, you hyper dense effort. Thank you, Shaylee. I'll look at it with detail later, because that makes the deck all the funnier for me. I like Samus Returns' sleekiness. It's more definitive picture for her. I like the fact that it's like it captures the same reason why I adore the Other M armor. I can buy the fact that Samus is both a bulking giant that can do all these somersaults and stuff like that. Bulking as in giants, not so much in terms of our muscle mass, but the Varia suit itself. I'm talking about the armor, you know? Resistance and tanky, but still sleek and agile. With that said, I would have adored if Samus had that bulky as fuck armor from the Metroid Dread concept art. Compared to the other 2D games, I think they all have like the same replay value, but I think that's also maybe a matter of opinion, because like I've been replaying. This is the one I've replayed the most in my entire life. Yeah, no, I'm browsing over the art station while I was having all that talk. Oh look. Oh my god, the Diggernaut! Ah! It's my favorite boss. Gosh. These are all so cool. Arachnus. Gosh. Sorry. Yeah, so
You're asking the Metroid fan if he wants more Metroid behind the scenes content. As a 3D editor, animator, artist, I eat this up. I'm dying for that Metroid Prime art book whatever, because it's been my lifelong dream to just read about more about the development process, but like that I don't have to scour the internet to find these people's art blocks and stuff just to learn more about the process of how my favorite series came into being and being developed. You know, this is anticlimactic that we have one sprite of the canned Dread DS projects. I wouldn't consider that anticlimactic though. Why is that anticlimactic? It's more Dread content. I mean, look at his bird background stuff in high poly. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to, but I can only play. I can only play Metroid Fusion with one hand so much, you know. Gosh, look at all these Chozo stuff. Oh, I love the Metroid Gate model. I really wish I could see the wireframe. I'm not even gonna lie, because like modeling was always the thing I struggled with the most in 3D. I was always more of a rigger or animator. Maybe UV artist. So I've always had like the craziest of respects for modelers who just do this thing. You know? A user on Reddit found a data mine of the McDonald's DSi game that one YouTuber hunted for 10 years. I mean, I think my algorithm probably showed me some McDonald's training video for the DS, but I didn't know that was related to Metroid Dread somehow. It contained some NTR dev kit sprites. Nintendo... I know this is suboptimal with getting this energy tank, but I'm not really doing the speedrunner strats. I'm doing like the routes. I'm doing my casual route. The way 10-year-old me got the best ending under 2 hours. 100% under 2 hours. NTR dev kit stood for Nitro Dev Kit. aka Nintendo DS dev kit. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate all this knowledge. And guess who developed it? Sakamoto's team. Oh, alright. There we go. That's how we get back to it. My boy Sakamoto-san. Oh, triple kill. Triple kill. By the way, do you know of any Metroidvania that leans more into the Metroid side? Something like settled or genre or maybe even its gameplay setting? Yes, a few. But for I'll be right back, chat. I'm gonna leave you talk for 2 minutes. I'll be right back. I just got a phone call that I gotta answer real quick. Hold on. It's not gonna take a while. There we go. See, I didn't tell you it was going to take a lot. Taco, you're supposed to entertain us, says chat.
Well, huh?
Yeah, chat, yeah, I know, right? Why would I bother having co-hosts if all they're going to do is bully me, not even, like, when I'm not in the voice chat? Apparently, the Sprite is not a beta Fusion docking bay, but one created for the DS aspect ratio. Said that Dread looked like a Fusion port, but for the DS. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Taco. Oh, I'm seeing the Sprite. Well, please correct me if I'm wrong again. But and I'll get to your question in a bit, Dusty. I didn't forget. But wasn't there like a prototype footage or something about Metroid Dread in which, like, you know, Samus had like walking on walls and stuff like that? Because that's as far as I knew about quote unquote assets of it that it existed. So I don't know if this might be related to that, or if that other video was just like some all-time internet hoax. Unfortunately not, as it was a hoax. But Dusty, Metroidvania games that follow more Metroid that I've played lately. In one way or the other, there's Alien Infestation, which is a full-on alien survival horror Metroid game that's sort of like this. You're stuck in whatever spaceship within the alien universe, and getting getting a head start on the SAX too early. And so like it's the same vibe as Fusion, but you're stuck with Xeno and all this other stuff. This is the only footage of Dread we know, thanks to the membership. The footage you think is probably Metroid 4 Fusion Alpha. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Just to clarify myself. Metroid, Dread, Metroid. What was it called? Metroid 4 Fusion Alpha. All right, let me see that. Fusion Alpha. I of course just get a lot of just Alpha Metroids and Metroid Fusion. Metroid Fusion's first prototype. Okay, yeah, no, there's this one. That's the one I was thinking of. So yeah, I think it's this one. No, yeah, you're correct, chat. Yeah, this is the one I was thinking about. All right, thanks for the clarification. Sweet. I find it funny that for the longest time, I never used the footage in the context that, oh, this is what we have from Metroid Dread. But like, you know, early 2000s, YouTube is barely starting out, and you got to see a lot of hoax and stuff all around, and people were using that for like a Metroid.
Oh, it's Metroid 5.
The board found it ugly, and that's why Fusion got remade. Yeah, I did hear about that being remade. This is my in case chat doesn't know, Fusion and Echoes are my favorite ones. I mean, making a game restart on the visual side because it looks ugly is a very valid reason, if you ask me. It's like the parallel world in which they also changed they didn't change the Splatoon. They kept the original Splatoon bunnies in the game instead of making the Inklings. You know? or like Final Fantasy 14 doing that whole restart because the new engine made things look ugly. And it eats resources and stuff like that, and it wasn't appealing, it was hard to market. Oh, that's close enough for the position. In the Fusion Beta content, X Fusion, where we use Fusion Beta content as well as beta rooms. Okay, that kind of confused me. Highly suggest you look up the 2 Fusion Betas, E3 2002 videos, Arachnas and the SRS, and some never seen before sprites were used. Extra recolor purple boyons. Yeah, no, I do know that. It's in What Are My Ex-Parasites videos, because I know about those. I do know about those. I was there to see it live. Well, not live at the event, but live as in, like, when the news came to Club Nintendo magazines where I lived, you know? Yeah, I know. Very cool. God, I love this series so much. But does the other Metroidvanias? Let me see. Actually, there's Strider. There's the Capcom Strider game, which I think is good because although not very much in the setting, I think the fighting the robots and some of the other story beats are very Metroidy. In my opinion. Oh shit! Fucking, there's a fly in my room that won't leave me alone. I gotta look up my Metroidvanias. I've played so many of them. Blaster Master Zero. Oh gosh, Axiom Verge, of course, but I'm assuming a lot of you people already know about Axiom Verge. I started playing one that's called the Swapper that cost me like $3 on Steam sales. That also has got like that space abandoned feel. I feel like I have an easier time of finding games that don't necessarily are within the Metroid like genre or like what people would consider to be the Metroid or Metroidvania, but it has elements that really make me feel the vibes from Metroid via the exploration, via the setting and stuff like that. So if you're curious about that as well, Dusty, I'd be more than happy to give you some recommendations. I got it through Game Informer, the guys who linked it first in 05. Yeah, I never growing up in like all over the world, I didn't really have a lot of access to Game Informer and stuff like that, so I just sticked with what I knew. Another thing, Mercury Steam is very likely doing Metroid 6 right now. Sakamoto slipped and revealed some info of the next Metroid, he said in the next episode in development. Where's this source of Sakamoto's slip up? I wouldn't be surprised if they're working on Metroid 6. You know, Dread sold a lot, Samus Returns sold a lot, and all this other stuff. It's just that, like, you know. Thank you. Oh yeah, but this is from 2021. I thought it was like newer, like more recent, you know? Because if that's the case, there's a lot of other things from back in those days that really hinted that, like, all right, there's might be stuff already from Metroid 6, but I just thought that maybe there was some more recent update developments. Because I do recognize this website, like this article. You know, these games still take around 4 or so years to be developed anyway, so the timeline is fine with it being like a next year type game for the Switch too, sadly. If it does happen, my main thing with the story, at least, I just don't want it to be based, like, I don't want it to continue anything. I want a whole new continuity of sorts. I want to go back to the days of, like, Metroid Prime, where, alright, this game is sort of soft connected to the original games, but it's its own thing. They could have canned it. Unfortunately, no new updates. Yeah, that's probably why I'm like, alright, unless there's a new update, it's still, like, in a limbo for me. Aside from Sakamoto hinting at exciting new projects last year, when he's even interviewed for Emio. Yeah, I mean, but he's also doing, like, Tomodachi Life again for the Switch too, so who knows if he might have been referring to Tomodachi Life returning. Or Miitopia or whatever. Like, Sakamoto does more than just Metroid. But I wouldn't put it past my guy. Like, you know, him and Tanabe are different beasts. I really don't know. They just do everything, you know? More than one, in terms of, like, more than one project, more than one style. New Rhythm Heaven and Tomodachi Life. Yeah, no, when I saw that news of Sakamoto saying stuff, I was thinking less Metroid and more, like, different projects or different projects. So then when Tomodachi and Rhythm Heaven were shown, I assume that's probably the projects he was talking about. Assuming, you know, there still could be Metroid 6, and he didn't mention them because they don't want to compete with Metroid Prime 4. You know, you want Beyond to have its own focus and stuff like that. I think Sakamoto plus LRM waited for getting motivation to do Metroid again. Not only that, I don't know if this is real or not, but I remember back in the day, this was like 3 or so years ago, I think Did You Know Gaming or some other sort of semi-reliable source, I guess, in the internet, YouTube channel, was made a video on, like, the development history of Metroid Dread, and apparently, and I will again, grain of salt, if I am wrong and mistaken, please do correct me. But apparently Sakamoto wanted to do a new 2D Metroid game for years, since watching the boom of and resurgence of Metroidvanias on the indie scene. And he's like, all right, maybe with today's technology I can do Dread. But the problem is that R&D1, which is the studio that he worked for, making, you know, Zero Mission and Super and all these other things, closed, and so he wasn't with a team. And apparently Nintendo didn't really have much of a team that they could throw at him. So one day he was just, you know, playing the Castlevania game the Mercury team made on the 3DS, and he really liked it. So he went back to pitch, all right, I want to make these Metroid games, but it has to be like it'll be made by, I don't need the team. I found this team of people. I just need the funding to do it. And I think that's when they wanted to do the Metroid Fusion remake, and then they pivoted with a condition that it be a remake for Samus, Return of Samus instead. I don't know if that was true or not. I haven't ever gone back to double check it because I just was doing my exercise and this video popped out in my recommended and I hit click on it. It's also the fact that I've never mentioned it in one of my videos. But yeah, I that's what I like. It's not so much that Sakamoto lost his groove after Other M. I don't believe that. I just think that, like, it was just harder for him to get the necessary things to work on a new Metroid game. And and a part of me, I guess, don't blame Nintendo because of the way the community sort of, like, reacted to all this other stuff, and, you know, but, like, now that's in the past. I know the Metroid Fusion thing is in a rumor. I'm talking about the rest. Yeah, it took a lot of time around EPV7 to look for his own initiative to kickstart it. Have you played Castlevania games by Mercury Steam? No, I've not had the luxury of playing them. I don't really know why, given that I really don't know why, given that I really like Metroid. It was on the 3DS, and so it was like peak Albert was itching for a Metroid game, but I blame Monster Hunter, because that's when I got into Monster Hunter, and it was the only thing I played on my 3DS. Like, my 3DS was just there for Monster Hunter. Maybe Fire Emblem Awakening, and like, 1 or 2 RPGs. Before pitching that, they wanted to do Prime Hunter's like game for both Wii U and 3DS. Yeah, I also know. Like the whole reason I think that like the story again is because of the whole process of getting the things done. So if that's true, then like, you know, I never took Sakamoto for someone who like one sort of not, because I even wouldn't call a Metroid Other M a bad game or flawed game or whatever. It's just like different. I just say that maybe he got caught up in his own ambition too much during that game, but I still like Other M. I know I'm like one of the 3 people on the internet who can say that. I just want Minako Hamao to do Metroid 6. I like Dread's music and I love its fusion references like motifs. If I could also helped, especially Dread and a lot of R&D 1 staff supervised and directed it. The guy who did the background for Fusions was the lead art director of Dread. Yeah, I know. I only know because I saw the name on the profile and I recognize it from the credits of Metroid Dread and stuff. But for me, it's mostly the fact. For me, it's mostly like I like Dread's and Samus Return soundtrack, but I feel like I would like the melodies to be like. My issue is that the melody seems a little bit too muted. What should be like the thing I'm humming in the back of my mind, or that's playing on loop in the back of my mind, quite doesn't ever reach my ears in a specific way, like maybe the Sector 1 theme does, or some of the other Metroid music that we hear over and over again. So like I do like the soundtrack and the composition. The map room theme for Metroid Dread is my absolute favorite song to listen to when I'm swimming underwater because I find it so fucking relaxing. But I would like just a little bit more of that energy from like Talon Overworld or Torvus Bog, or where the melody really conveyed more of a clear mood than just like environmental type of stuff with some melody in there. I don't know if I'm making any sense. But like I'm not very versed in musical terms to like give that to express my thoughts in the same way I could probably do with animation or modeling. I think they need to make sound mixing better. It's not only the sound mixing but the instrumentation. What are the instruments you're using for the melody? Because like to use Final Fantasy XIV as an example, just because of the brain rot. Masayoshi Soken, the guy who's the composer for that, and he's the composer for Final Fantasy 16. But the way this circles back is he's a composer for Mario Hoops 3-on-3. That's how he kind of like started. And like he finds he makes a leitmotif or a melody that's just catchy in your head no matter what, and he makes that like the main character in the song, and then he puts all the other things around it to create the vibe. So like when you're playing 14, it's great when you hear like the Metroid Dread version of those songs, but the melody still kicks in and you still hum it to it, even if it's just a faint background type of sound that's buried through all the industrial noise and industrial music. You can still hear the leitmotif and the melody, and it just evokes that feeling of you in the story that I feel the Metroid games were pretty great with capturing, especially, Kenji Yamamoto's soundtrack. That I feel that I totally know how Mano can do it. Like, do not get me wrong. I don't think it's me doubting the skills. It's just that I think it's time for them to go wacko and sicko and just do whatever, Like, if the soundtrack was more like the Map Room, where they had those clear melodies and those clear vibes more present, and like, I feel like the same with crates. I feel you could have pushed more the crate theme and the C57 theme and the Raven Beak themes and stuff like that, because they're still great songs, but like, I don't know how to explain it, but like, that's what I'm excited to see, like this other thing. I must self-destruct. All right, Shaylee. Late. My dad is already sleeping. I said stay quiet. Well, I'm going to go. I might be able to sit down and study a little bit the lizard deck you gave me, Shaylee. I'll give you thoughts in or like wish list stuff to see if it works. Because my first is playability and then like silly ability. Okay, job. Luckily, they improved a lot from Mario Wonder soundtrack. Show that Sayoko Doi improved a lot. Yeah, I mean, I think that Nintendo is great at doing its soundtracks, but there isn't... I will say this. Their Switch era music doesn't quite evoke much of a banger on me as like some of their previous generations' musics, with the couple of exceptions here. Rats from Zuppy mode. Alright. See ya, Shadley. Thanks for all the help with the decks, by the way. It really means a lot to Crocor 9. Too early. Alright. Agreed. Some games don't hit quite as much. Odyssey is very good, but compared to Galaxy 1, not as bombastic, which is why... I think the Odyssey is equally as bombastic as Galaxy. It's just that Galaxy has the upper hand of it being a grand... the soundtrack was made for a grand orchestra, but like... There are melodies from Odyssey I hum a lot more than the ones from Galaxy, at least myself. Ba ba da bum bum ba da bum ba ba da bum bum ba da bum ba ba da bum bum ba da bum ba da ba bum ba ba do boom boom ba do 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 do. But like, the new Zelda games are just like whatever environmental piano piece here and there, and then one or two songs. The new Xenoblade 2 and 3 soundtracks were beautiful, but none of the songs really stuck in my mind quite like 1 or X did. Same with the Fire Emblem Three Houses soundtrack, compared to like Awakening or Radiant Dawn that I just keep playing on loop. And there was a part of me that said, alright, the nostalgia goggles, but like, at the same time, I can be like, oh no, it's just not the nostalgia goggles, because when these games came out, the songs were fun, and it was just I went through the trouble of downloading the song and putting it onto my swimming headphones, but I haven't had that urge to do with most of the things from the Switch era. So that's like my main focus group. Okay, and Mario music, Mario Kart World soundtrack is absolutely crazy. I would have imagined. I like Wooden Kingdom. It gives me both the nostalgic vibes. Yeah, I love the Wooden Kingdom's music so much. Just listen to this Latino Underground remix. ¿Qué tipo de remix estás hablando? ¿Qué tipo de música? ¿Salsa, merengue? No, I didn't know that. No sabía que había Latino music for Mario. Is it official or like or is it like a fan remix? Are we talking more about like this is absolutely crazy. You barely recognize the underground, do you? All right, but like is it Nintendo music the link, or is it like a third party remix? I'm very confused. I almost understood what you said in Espanol. Ah. Nintendo music from Mario Kart World. All right. I mean, I'll have it open to listen it after I'm done. Latin guitar version. Okay, no, hold on. Now I gotta. Hostia. Yeah, no, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's just I don't think it's $80 good. Like, I don't have the game, so I'm not talking about how quote unquote fun it is, but I just find it so funny. No game is worth $80. I don't know. I might have paid. I don't know how many. Okay, there's this critically acclaimed MMORPG, Final Fantasy XIV, and I've paid at least for 4 expansions and several months worth of subscription. I would say that's definitely worth more than 80. That's definitely worth $80. Sounds $60 worth, yeah. I paid 40 euros on it because you got the bundle, yeah, but the game is $80. You are the lucky few who bought, or whatever you want to call it, that you bought the console when this bundle was out. But like people like me will have to pay that for $80 down the line, and I'm not paying $80 for this Mario Kart. I've seen it. And my biggest question is, like, when they announced the game, I thought they were cooking. Like, all right, the open world is going to be like some Tony Hawk Pro Skater meets Burnout Paradise type game. And I'm just exploring the map, looking for challenges and secrets that might unlock, like, the skins for Mario and the others. So that way, when I'm playing online and I see, like, this gold, bronze, gold, Dry Bowser skin, that I know that guy did some crazy thing, challenge in the world mode that he had to unlock it, and so the course were funny. But no, it's just stickers. Like, what the fuck? There's nothing to find in the open world that is kind of like fun with that. And then I've noticed that a lot of the tracks are kind of just like straight lines. I don't really like that going from one track to the other, because I thought, like, when Nintendo pitched this game on that direct, I had the thought that, like, all right, we have the, let's whatever, like, all right, 24, I don't know what's the exact number, but let's say it's 24. The 24 courses from Mario Kart, like, that you expect from every Mario Kart, like vanilla Mario, we're talking about base Mario Kart 8. And then we just added these roads that lead from one into the other as these bonuses for that particular. So that way you could have the regular Grand Prix, and then these go from one places to other Grand Prix, where maybe it's 4 courses, 2 where you go to places, and then the other one, or you make it like such a big thing that you're supposed to take in sittings, and whatever. But no, it's none of the thing. Like, I even thought that might put like a Kirby's Air Ride CD trial thing on the open world mode, you know? Is there gonna be a Metroid 6 in the future? And what do you think the story could or should be? I have a few theories or a few ideas. Just give me a second. Sure, we know of 2 Donkey Kong Bonanza voice actors being, and they don't have voices. One's in Void Kong. I don't know who Void Kong is. I'm assuming Bonanza. Like I said, there's only a few straights in intermissions. Most are all curvy as hell. That came out wrong. Well, I mean, from what I've seen from streamers or friends that have, I'm talking. I've seen like these empty highways that are either very broad or just super narrow. I don't know. I don't like this new Mario Kart team from the fucking gacha game doing Mario Kart World and whatever. But that's my conspiracy theory I made for a movie. The gameplay looks really slow. Huh. I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell you if maybe that's something on your end, because from here it's running the same as it ever ran on my Game Boy. Maybe it's maybe it's the stream delay. I don't have the best internet, so Oh, Mario Kart World. Oh, okay, okay. I thought you meant the stream. I'm sorry. Like I really think that Mario Kart World is unfinished. From what I've seen. I don't know, it's like it reminds me more of the gacha game than it does a regular Mario Kart. I don't know how I feel about that. Sort of like the design philosophy of the courses and tricks and stuff like that. It seems very Mario Kart mobile game centered, whatever it was called. It definitely needs more content not tied to a DLC, but that's the only thing, that's the only way Nintendo works these days. That's the only way. I send you a picture of the Dr. Moon. The Tokon movesets for Doctor Doom, does it show? Let me see, does it, I hope it shows like the frames. Cause like the inputs are one thing, I just need to know how he plays. What type of a character is he? Specializes in mid to long range combat with projectile-based approach. His unique Nullify shield can block opponents' projectiles. He can activate flight by holding Y while grounded. Alright, that seems interesting. I'm not much of a sonar, I'm more of a grappler or rush, like big boy hit, but it really depends on the type of projectile play. I did play a lot of Dormammu back in UMBC 3. I was surprised it did a free 4K update for ARMS Odyssey. I think it should have been like the bare minimum. I don't know. If they're charging me $450 for my system to play all these new games, then how come none of the Metroid games have like a update patch, whatever? Because we're Nintendo, we gotta do it so slow. So that way we can milk people for their money and stuff like that. We gotta do the same, which is the same thing they're doing for Nintendo Music, which sucks, and the same thing Nintendo's been doing with a Switch Online service. Why else is GameCube a Switch 2 exclusive? Because we can charge people for more money. People will want a future proof because here's a Nintendo console and we'll blah 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 blah. That's how we'll get them. We don't even have to sell it to them like that. They'll just do it themselves and go and give us the reason as well. Yeah, I know the Taco's Fugi just bouncing as the background noises is very funny. I don't even know if it's here.
Sorry.
Ah, you're good, Taco. Nah, it's hardware limitations, I swear. Yeah, it's hardware limitations. Don't look at Metroid Prime being a remaster from a GameCube game running at 60 frames per second on this hardware. It's the hardware limitations, we swear. It's our bad.
Yep, don't
look at it.
Don't look at Dolphin running GameCube games perfectly on an Android phone.
Yeah, don't look at that. Please look at our outdated, underperforming thing. As we sue other companies. Please, you'll buy our $500 system. It's got Mario Kart on it.
We promise that's why.
Yeah, the Pokemon. We fixed Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It runs at 60 frames per second. That
It
was the
runs
problem,
the-
right?
Yeah. It's not like we're using like already 3-year-old hardware.
Yeah. And rushing our games instead of just delaying them a little bit longer because we need a constant drip feed of money. $720 stretches terribly on 1080. I don't know. You can get away with it really easily if you know how to do it right. I've seen several other games do it. I just don't, like if they told me, all right, Xenoblade Chronicles X, and Metroid Prime Remaster and Dread get that whole crazy update. Then yeah, okay, maybe, but no. By the way, the Switch 2 technology that they're using came out in 2017.
Yeah.
The same year that the Switch 1 came out. Xeno XS1 with 60 FPS. All right, that changes everything. Oh, Elma, my beloved. Which, by the way, if you ever wanted to see a Nintendo character that's equally as cool of Samus in every sense of the word that makes Samus cool, just look at Elma, please. It's just another one. But going back, Dusty, I know you asked a while, and I know I side tangent, about ideas for the Metroid 6 plot. I don't have anything in particular for a main plot, because most of the ideas that I've had that could be like a Metroid 6 plot, I've just adapted it into my own thing for my own projects. Xenoblade 2 definitely needs an update. I didn't really like 2 that much, to be quite honest. I'm a X and Xenoblade 1 fanboy. I thought 3 was okay. Kind of a little bit self-indulgent in its own cutscenes. I really hated 2. So my idea for Metroid 6, it's mostly like we're starting a brand new chapter in the Metroid universe. So it'd be a new threat. We could still have the space pirates or whatever, but I would like it to follow the footsteps of Metroid Dread, where the main focus or the main goal is expanding more about the Metroid universe. So no Mother Brain, no Metroids, maybe. No space pirates, no Ridley, no Galactic Federation. The only things I would allow to return are A, the Chozos, because I still think there's just a lot of room to grow with that lore. And then B, maybe the Metroids, to just put them in a different context. But I would like for everything else to just be so new and so out of left field that it almost feels like the only thing that ties it back to Metroid is the fact that Samus is there. In the story, at least. Which is part of the reason I'm at least excited for Beyond, is because, you know, it seems like, alright, it's going to have that Metroid Prime 3, Metroid Prime 2 type opening, where the Federation and the pirates and stuff are there to set the scales of everything that's coming up. And then maybe, like, we introduce the new world elements. Like, you know what they did with Echoes and the Luminov? That's what I want to see in, like, Metroid 6. Because I love Metroid so much, and I just feel that it's so easy for, especially nowadays, companies just sticking to what is known and what sells and stuff like that. I know what that is, ism, to quote Red Letter Media. That, like, I just want to see new creative ideas. I do not know who Metaquarius is. I don't know. The developer of the Metroid Fusion thing, I'm assuming? Look, xenomorphs. I mean, acidic saliva dripping is exmorphs. Or what's left of the space pirates, like 3 guys causing troubles. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why they name dropped a space pirate we never heard of in Prime 1 and did nothing with it.
I mean, why you're not complaining about Weevil then? I mean, those space pirates and stuff were just like there for the flavor text, for the lore. They weren't really intended to be anything beyond that, but serve as ways to just further expand the world of Metroid and the space pirates as an organization, at least the ones in like the Prime world and all this other stuff. So there was like a time where the Chozo weren't so peaceful all the time, right? Absolutely. There was the Chozo's history, or at least what we know, is sort of written in war and conquest and blood. In some part, they were a warrior race. We never really got an exact what type of civilization they were. But giving the mocking roots and all that other stuff, it's definitely one that was a little bit more of conquerors and the other which were more scientific. And I always assumed that they worked together in harmony because one needed the other for survival, in a sense. The Mockings would do the dirty work of like keeping the Chozo stuff safe, while the Thoha maybe enhanced and furthered their civilization with the technological stuff and all these other things. Or at least that's my own sort of theory from the stuff that the way that they talk about it in the manga and the way they talk about it in Dread and the way they talk about it in Samus Returns and stuff. And scan logs from Metroid Prime and Corruption. So we I don't think they were necessarily like Omni-Man people who they looked for planets to conquer and sort of assimilate for their empire, or just super strong soldiers who just happen to be super strong. We just knew that they were a warring race, and that's it. I wouldn't even know if it's like Kryptonians, to be quite honest. Because like we don't really know the why they, because the warring Chozo could just be like internally. It could maybe because like there could be the possibility that all of that was internally until they sort of solved anything and then they went outward, or it could have been like on a galactic scale or universal scale. The whole thing that we know is that when the Chozo really started exploring the universe is really when they started becoming more of that peaceful civilization, sharing more wisdom and knowledge rather than anything else. So that's why it's sort of like a loose place that I think that you could still afford to explore with Metroid 6 without necessarily having to tie it directly to Ravenbeak and Quiet Robe and all these other things, or all these other, or necessarily having a Chozo present in the story. So like, yeah, there was a time where they did combat and they did war, but we don't know if it was for defenses. Because like, for example, there was the theory that I've had about Samus Returns where the Thoha was the ones like, you know, investigating and mining Aeon and all this other stuff for the Mockings so they can bring it back to ZDR and use it as an energy source or whatever. And the Mocking in turn offer protection to the Thoha. That's like when shit goes awry, the Thoha contacted their Mockings to help like settle the situation and they can continue with their work. But Ravenbeak just saw the potential behind the Metroids that he wanted to use it for that. And my theory has always been that that moment sort of was a turning point in Chozo history. Because in my eyes, that like, you know, the Thoha and the Mocking worked together in peace of sorts. And this was a turning point in which Ravenbeak broke that truce by slaying the Thohas on SR388 and all this other stuff. Because why else is Chozo Memory 11 a hidden secret in Samus Returns if not for the fact that maybe they were just trying to keep that like retconning it, or what was it? What's the name? Blacklisting, I guess. Yeah, blacklisting it from like history. You know. So like that's been the way I've interpreted what maybe Sakamoto Mercury Steam were trying to tell us with the visual elements and the body language and the logistics behind all the pieces they gave us. About your project, will it have an SAX nemesis like Pursuit Creature, a Super Emmy? I don't really think so, because I'm keeping it simple, and I think making an AI that behaves like either the SAX or the Emmy might be a little bit too complex, and I'd rather just first focus with the game being fun and having a group of enemies that's fun to shoot at and maybe hide from and all this other stuff before I consider something much more advanced and refined as having a dedicated enemy that follows you, because I'm just a guy who's been learning this through osmosis and trial and error and stuff, you know? I think it's very hard to design organic sequence to it. I mean, random encounters can be very annoying. I have several ideas that can make it feel organic, but I'm trying to maybe end the stream right now because I'm very hungry and the headache doesn't really help. So I think it's my body just telling me to maybe call it a stream and go get some food. But like I'm streaming every Thursday and Friday, chat. So. And I am in my voice chat on the Discord server, the public Discord server, almost every other night playing Final Fantasy XIV. So you're more than welcome to hop on by or DM me for Metroid if you want more and stuff. You know, like definitely feel free to just DM me. I'm just another Metroid fanboy. I love this fucking piece of shit game so much. I mean, I love Metroid. But. So, like, the TLDR that I've had with the Thoha mocking situation is precisely that. Ravenbeak sort of try to cover up something, so maybe they're not even the only Chozo civilization left, because the other, I don't know if Akiware is on Discord, but if they are, if they're not, I believe there's a link to it down in the Twitch one. If it ain't working, let me know and I can create a new one real quick. I believe that we could see more mockings and Thohas in general, because the general preconception with Metroid is that we never knew what happened to the Chozo. We never had confirmation of whether or not they weren't extinct or they just died out or whatever. The Metroid manga hinted at them advancing and evolving so fast that they could no longer reproduce and thus became ultimately a dying race. So I ultimately saw things like Experiment C57 and the Metroids and all that other stuff as just maybe another way for them to like mutate new Chozo lineage or whatever, or prolong what remains through the power of the Aeon or whatever. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's more Chozo settlements still available and just in hiding, because the writers could give me any reason that a hyper intelligent, super fucking advanced race would choose to remain hidden and make sense, because they're smart. You just gotta give me like a cool thing. This is why I even nuked my 40k Karma Metroid. Only Metroid rated account. We'll see to it. I don't currently have a Discord account, but can make one. I originally deleted all socials to get away from it all. Oh, Akiwire, I totally get you with that regard. I did the same. Not that I nuked it. I kept it because I eventually, use it to just let you guys know that, like, I'm still doing videos and all this other stuff, because I think I at least owe you guys that much after all the support that you've given me. I think it'd be a waste if after all these years of you guys supporting me that I just I've ghosted you guys. But I've moved into Discord because we have our own sort of Discord server, and it's much easier for me to just chat with you guys in the same way we're doing now here than like through Twitter or Reddit or whatever. Yeah, the early 2020s were so incredibly toxic. I agree, but you're more than welcome to join my server. It's just a chill place where people like me just
chill out. It's not even just fully Metroid Center. We talk about video games, movies, and all this other stuff. So the community's super chill, super small. So if you ever also lizard tomboyant spotted, you gotta get ready to pay bits for those, chat member. I still think about how Fusion mistranslation might have made a lot of people think the entire Galactic Federation is evil, when it's actually just some rogue faction. Yeah, me too. And I think that it seems silly. And I won't get into it because it's a big sort of spiel from my personal opinions on the story beat, and I don't want to be the guy who ruins other people's parades, of course. But I just felt that would have clashed with the ideologies and the themes and the cosmicness of the Metroid Prime or the Metroid in general series. That I feel like even the Emmy are a good way to showcase that, because like now the Federation is determined on creating a deterrent for the X-Parasite threat, which was supposed to be the Emmy. So, you know, when the Emmy go, you send the Emmy to deal with an X-Parasite sighting and the Emmys disappear, who's the only other person that can actually deal with them? Because I'm assuming that designing a 9th or 10th hyper advanced Emmy unit just to send it and risking it disappearing like the other 9 might be dangerous. So, you know, I collected a lot of Metroid development knowledge over the years. Only contact I have from Reddit are like 2 people I keep in touch. I'm willing to share it all. I'd be more than glad to hear it and talk about it, because like it's not like I opened a stupid Metroid YouTube channel just because I have brain rot of the series 24/7. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a stream here. Soon might be doing a weekly stream, so like a daily stream on weekdays. So I hope to see you guys there. I'll be doing polls on the main YouTube channel and on the Discord server just to kind of get a general vibe of the topics you guys would like to see discussed in the next video and the schedules that might be most convenient for you to watch. Because yeah, I do have all that YouTube analytic and all this other data that I can use for a schedule, but I'd rather cater it to the type of people like wants to hang out and chill out with me and talk like stuff like this, because it really does mean a lot to me. It's a lot of fun. I really love chatting with you guys and everything. So thank you so much as always for just showing up and leaving a thought or whatever. Not enough brain rot? I will give you a Dino Crisis Parasite Eve brain rot. What? Who said that? Oh my goodness. Well, with all that said, I'm gonna head out. I want to have some time to develop a little bit more of my game or stories, given that it's a holiday here, so there's no work. So I'm gonna go get some lunch. With all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys had fun, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you guys later.